There are 3 things needed in order to create a cohesive, strong community culture and well-engaged work environment and or team. Trust, transparency, and engagement. Now you may be thinking, all right, well, you're constantly referencing Brené Brown. Vulnerability and shame is what she talks a lot about. But I think it's really important to dial it back and apply the reality in which all we're experiencing. No matter how common e-learning is at this point, no matter how working from home is like we're on 1 full year of it, we have to understand that grieving is present in all of us as every day passes. And it's gonna take a while because we still don't have the certainty of the uncertain. And as I say that, it's like, well, technically everything is uncertain. The only thing that's certain is that everything is uncertain. Yes, and when it comes to our lifestyles, when it comes to our patterning, grief, I've talked about it before, is the change in a way in which a behavior or a lifestyle has occurred. So that parent with the child at home e-learning, grieving. That senior director that used to have his private office, not able to attend and go to work, grieving. Hell, there are organizations now closing and going remote full time. And that in and of itself is grieving. So if you're having a space where your employee, like you're feeling less engaged, your employees and your teammates are less engaged, and like the productivity is just like lacking, and or you're feeling that imbalance of work-life integration, because it's not work-life balance anymore, it's work-life integration. How can we create them to be cohesive? You need to have trust, transparency, and engagement. If you're feeling it yourself, you need to build trust. You need to effectively articulate what it is that will allow you to feel that you can trust someone. How can someone show up? What conversations need to be had? What questions need to be asked? What actions need to be shown? What guidance, what support, what help do you need? Because until we take accountability in the trust, transparency, and engagement, we can't expect there to be a cultural shift or a sense of community, because it doesn't feel safe. And you may ask, well, like, why isn't vulnerability one? Because vulnerability is more about me trusting you with the emotional distraughtness that I'm having. Like, I'm giving you my emotional bandwidth and I'm trusting you to not have it. And I don't feel like in the workplace that's really effective at this time. You can be vulnerable, but more importantly, lead from a space of integrity and transparency. Let them know that working virtual is hard. You don't feel as connected. You're struggling to have energy throughout the day. Instead of, monthly calls, maybe you want weekly 15-minute check-ins. The transparency in building the trust is crucial. And the last is to be engaged. It's not as easy. You're not getting time by the water. You're not eating in the cafeteria. You're not passing down the halls. So even if it's, again, shifting, whether it's a pop-up 15-minute check-in, whether it's an end of the day quick email, maybe it's a daily text, be engaged with your people. Let them know where you're at, who you are, how you're feeling, and ask, what do they need in order to feel trust, to be able to be transparent, and to feel like their engagement matters. Hope this was helpful.